What you perceive as rejection, a lot of times, is really divine protection. And I'm sure you've probably heard that, but it's not just a cliche, it's a spiritual truth. And the reason I can say that is because I know from experience. I have my own personal examples of rejections that were really divine protections. Let's start with relationships. I can't tell y'all how many times I thought I was in love from my childhood all the way to my mid 20s. Almost every person I dated or was sexually active with, I either thought I loved them or I was hoping it would turn into love. So anytime those relationships and situationships didn't work out, I would feel rejected. I would be devastated. And a lot of times it was because the guy pulled away. Because I used to date a lot of very emotionally unavailable, avoidant guys. So anytime it didn't work out, I always felt that sense of rejection. Like, damn, I'm not good enough. Am I not lovable? Am I not worthy of being who I am today? I am so grateful. None of those relationships worked out. Looking back, I realized I was not equally yoked with any of those men. And the reason why is because I wasn't being the woman God called me to be. So I wasn't in alignment with who he called me to be, which is why I kept getting with men that I wasn't in alignment with because I wasn't in alignment with God. So here I am pouring into these different relationships, pouring into whoever I was dating, giving, giving, giving. And all they would do is take, take, take. And the reason why I was constantly giving and never receiving was because I didn't love myself. And because I didn't love myself, I viewed those breakups as rejection instead of protection because I didn't know my worth. I didn't know my value yet. And I had an ex that I got pregnant by in my early 20s. And I really wanted to keep it. But he insisted on me getting an abortion. And at the time, I felt rejected because I'm like, why doesn't he want to have a baby with me? Like, I wouldn't be like a crazy baby mama or anything. And I'm going to be real deep down. I was hoping we would reconcile because at the time when I got pregnant, we were broken up. Come to find out, I ended up getting the abortion. This was like 10 years ago, but I ended up getting the abortion when I was 6 weeks. And come to find out later on down the line, I found out he was creeping with my friend. So I found out when we were together, he cheated on me with one of my friends. And after we broke up, around the same time that I got pregnant, after we broke up, that's who he was messing with. And on top of the fact that he was creeping around with my friend, we all worked together. We all worked at the same call center. So can you imagine if I would have kept the baby? I would have been walking around that call center pregnant as fuck, looking crazy because my baby dad is creeping around with my friend. And just think, I would have been attached to him for the rest of my life through a child. If I would have became a single mother in my early 20s, my life would have turned out very different and not in a good way. Because I saw firsthand, being the oldest, I saw firsthand how much my mom struggled because she was a young single mother. So even though I wanted the baby at the time, God knew that wasn't what was best for me. So even though I perceived it as rejection, it was really a divine protection. When it came to friendships, there were certain girls I really wanted to be friends with. But when I would put in an effort, they wouldn't match my energy. It would make me feel rejected because I'm like, damn, they seem cool and I know I'm cool, so why can't we be cool? Like, why doesn't this person want to be friends with me? Like, what's wrong with me? But later on down the line, you find out things about people and you observe and notice certain things about them to where you're like, I'm not even in alignment with this person. If I became close to this person and we became friends, they would only be a distraction. They would only be a bad influence. So it really is God's divine protection, even when it came to friendships that ended. Especially if it was a situation where my friend ghosted me and they just disappeared, it would make me question myself. I would be devastated. I would just constantly beat myself up like, what did I do or say wrong? Like, I would constantly be replaying our interactions like, where did I go wrong? What did I say wrong? Knowing deep down, I didn't do nothing to that person. They have their own stuff going on that don't got nothing to do with me. And maybe they can't be a good friend to me because they're not even being good to themselves and they need to take care of themselves. There's quite a few friendships that I had that ended because of that. And instead of internalizing it and taking it personal, I realized that person's just not meant to be in my life. Because a lot of times I'll find out certain things about them and I'm like, I'm glad I'm not around for that. When it came to opportunities, there were certain things that I really wanted that I didn't get chosen for. And it made me question my worth. It made me question my value. Not realizing God was blocking those things from happening because he knew it wasn't in alignment with the plan that he had for my life. For example, I used to work at a call center and I really wanted to get promoted. I tried to get promoted to QA, didn't get chosen. Tried to get promoted to I can't remember what position it was, but I didn't get chosen. Tried to get promoted to being a job coach, didn't get the position, didn't get chosen. And with each rejection, it was just eating away at my self esteem. I already had low self esteem at the time, but that was making it worse. And I didn't realize if I would have got any of those positions, I would have became complacent. I would have never went down this path, which is the right path because God is ordering my steps. But I would have just been complacent in my little position, in my little promotion. But me feeling stuck made me feel uncomfortable to a point where I knew I had to do something. I knew I had to make a change. And me not getting those positions, even though I viewed it as rejection, was really divine protection. And sometimes rejection can come in the form of things just not working out as planned, things not working out the way that you hoped for. And even in that, a lot of times it's a blessing in disguise. There was a point in time I was planning to move to Hawaii. My crazy ex, my abusive, mentally deranged ex, was living in Hawaii for 4 months. And he was supposed to live there permanently, but things fell through. And when he came back, I was bummed out because I'm like, damn, you weren't supposed to come back here. I was supposed to move there. Like, I wanted to leave my hometown. I was just thinking about, oh, I'm going to be living in Hawaii with my man. I was just thinking about the fantasy of it, not thinking about the reality of it. The reality of it was he was crazy and abusive. So just imagine if I would have moved far away to an island just with him and his friends, isolated and away from my support system. I know for a fact the manipulation and abuse would have been 10 times worse. And who knows how things would have turned out? Who knows? That man could have took my life. I'm gonna be real. I'm not trying to be dramatic or whatever. But there was a point in time where my mom, she had a really bad feeling about me moving to Hawaii with him. And I was just like, Mom, you don't know him. Like, stop judging him, blah, blah, blah. But my mom felt something evil about his spirit. And she was like, don't move to Hawaii. He gonna steal your soul. And I was just brushing it off at the time. But later on down the line, I realized she was right. I came across a video of this girl talking about how her high school sweetheart just killed his girlfriend recently. Her high school sweetheart, who she desperately wanted things to work out with. She really wanted them to have their fairy tale love story. He ended up killing his current girlfriend. He recently killed his girlfriend. And she was talking about how she was so grateful that God blocked that relationship from evolving. And that is a perfect example of divine protection. She perceived it as rejection, but she didn't realize God was saving her life because that easily could have been her. I love you guys. I pray this message blessed you. If it did, please make sure you like it. Please make sure you subscribe and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I haven't done this type of video in a long time. It's been a few months. And that's because I've been going live every week on YouTube. usually on Sundays. This Sunday, I'm not going to go live since I'm, putting this video out. But yeah, if you've been wondering, like, why hasn't she been putting out videos? Like, where's the content? I've been going live every week, usually on Sundays. So if you want to see any of those replays, just go to my channel, go to my lives, they're all there. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.